Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello everybody and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have one of my amazing clients here today. They're gonna share a little bit on how they were able to manage to grow their business by expanding with the offshore stuff. Let me introduce you to Andrew Griffin from Andfer Technologies. Hi Andrew.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
That's good. Thank you so much for joining us. First, tell us everything about your business. How did you start it and what's your business?
Yeah, so we started Andfer Technologies about 4 years ago now, and it came off where I was actually made redundant from a previous business and basically inherited a lot of clients from there. Wanted to continue on what I was doing and ended up creating Andfer Technologies.
Nice. That's amazing. How long have you been around in this business?
I've been in IT probably about a bit over 25 years.
And in this business, how long ago did you start this business?
This business 4 years ago.
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. So what has been the biggest turning point in scaling your business?
Realizing that I can't do it alone and I need to get support with the aim of working on the business, not in the business type thing. So yeah, I realized I needed support and so on.
Amazing. What do you guys actually do for people?
So we're a IT managed service provider for small businesses. So basically look after the IT needs of small businesses.
Beautiful. And so what challenges were you facing before you were building your team?
Basically just time management, things like that. So being available for clients and working out what I didn't need to do that someone else could do. Those sorts of things was what I was starting to realize.
Yeah, of course. And because then you started to bring not just one, but two people, right, from offshore. And so how did their support change the game for you? What do they do for you? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got our first admin VA and we basically got her on to start looking at the admin side of the business and stuff that I don't actually have to do. All those sort of admin tasks like invoicing, things like that, sending out invoicing, checking on unpaid invoices, and just making sure that I don't miss calls and things like that. So message taking and making sure clients feel like they're being listened to and their needs are being tended to. And then we brought on our second VA. He was a IT VA. And he's basically doing all remote work for Andfer. So anything that can be done remotely, he's sort of the first port of call now and allowing me to work on the business and supporting him when I need to as well. So yeah.
That's exciting. So good. So not just one, but two VAs. And obviously it wasn't an easy decision and it can get quite scary when people get to a point of the business that you're like, I need help, but am I really going to invest in this? So how did you make that decision on going ahead with the investment?
Yeah, basically I worked out that what my time is worth and worked out whether someone else could do some of that work. And yeah, it was pretty much a no-brainer that, I needed to get some support to do some of those other tasks that I don't absolutely have to do because my time is valuable. And yeah, so getting someone else to help allowed me to put value into the business.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you talk to someone that is watching, because a lot of people watch us to be like, oh, I maybe should, but I don't know if I'm ready or, so can you tell them like how has building a team offshore or locally as well has made you help change the way that you run a business?
I'm now working on implementing new stuff into the business. So we're going to start offering training courses and things like that training courses to our clients for small businesses, getting more awareness, things like that. So it's allowed us to pivot a bit and start offering some of those new services.
That's beautiful because that obviously will generate more revenue and the business will grow even more. And what a lot of the time we don't realize as business owners, and I'm so happy that you have realized that very early, is that you say, if I continue being client facing and doing everything for the clients, I can never look at where the business could go next and start to build those type of services and products and things that can expand where the business goes. So it's priceless, but sometimes when we are stuck in it, we don't really see that, right?
No, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So I started seeing that. I also had some prompting from another person, another colleague that I was talking to about it, and he actually suggested maybe you need some staff to help in some of those areas.
Yeah, that's really interesting, right? And I don't know you, but sometimes when I start to have staff and they work literally like 8 hours a day on that one thing, they became better than me. So at the end, I was like, actually, it's better if you chat with one of my team because they're doing that every day rather than I do now every now and again. So I sort of lost the touch of it. So sometimes we don't realize that we can become the person stopping the business from growing because we don't have time to skill ourselves in one thing because we're doing so many, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah, I've even slowly started discovering it. It's not so much that I didn't know it. It was just that ITVA was more across something than I was. So yeah, it makes perfect sense that they handle more and more of that stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So then thinking about that, you as a CEO, as the business owner of the business, how has your role evolved since you hired the staff? Like, how has it changed?
I was sort of a worker doing worker bee sort of stuff in the business and also trying to be a CEO and things like that. And then that slowly started changing where I'm not so much the worker and allowing me to focus on developing the business with new ideas and to help support the clients that we have.
Definitely. And did you have to sort of make a shift in your mindset to be able to let go? How difficult and how easy was letting go to your offshore staff for them to take over?
For me, it wasn't that easy. It took a while, but I started when our VA started, there were things just happening that they needed to do, and I asked them to do. It sort of, yeah, made me realize that, oh, wow, yeah, other people can do the work that I need them to do. And yeah, that was sort of the realizer that, yeah, okay, I can do this and support our clients.
That's amazing. And so, how long did it take for this team of yours to start to help you? Because a lot of people think it's faster if I just do it. I'm gonna train someone in all of these. It's just faster if I do it. So a lot of people don't take that step because they think they're gonna have to spend 6 months training someone or full time training someone. So how long did it take for your team to start to help you and take things off your shoulders?
It was probably, I won't say it was instantaneous. It's probably, I started seeing early signs probably 3 to 6 months. And then when I brought on our ITVA, there was another bit of a learning curve there for him and adjusting to the new clients. And that was probably another 3 to 6 months again. And that's really started changing, making things, essentially reducing the stress and anxiety that can come with small business. So,
Yeah, of course. So 3 to 6 months for them to sort of take over, but you start to see sort of like some relief a little bit earlier, or was it actually 3 months before you got any type of relief?
I suppose I started seeing relief earlier, but because there's still, the training and things like that, it's sort of there's a trade-off there. There was some times where it was earlier because there are things that, they're very similar. They totally understood it and were able to grasp it. But yeah,
That's awesome. So at the end of the day, like even if it is 3 to 6 months, right? You think about, was that worth it? Would you do it again? Was that worth your time?
Yes, like there were times where I didn't think it was, but you have to realistically think about, that they're people, I'm a person, and, they take time to learn, and you've just got to set a goal and make sure there's milestones to work towards it. And yeah, be real with everything, and it does work. So.
Because at the end of the day, exactly what you said, like we're dealing with people. So we do have to take them through the process. We need to show them, we need to do it with them until they can take over. But if we think of our future self is always very grateful for us to go through that, process of teaching them the way that we do things, because obviously every business is different. So I'm glad that it was worth it. I'm glad that you say it definitely paid off at the end. But you persevere, which is really important, because some people give up, right? They hire someone, it's been 3 weeks, you're not taking things off my shoulder, that's it, I'm done. It's like 3 weeks is not enough for someone to be trained and really start to show you what they can do in your business. So you got to give someone a little bit more time. So I'm glad that you did, and I'm glad that now you have and be able to expand your business in the way that you did. So once a year we do a level up conference in Brisbane, 2 days for all our clients to come along and learn from all the speakers how to grow their business. This is what, the third or fourth year that you're coming along?
I think this is actually the second.
The second.
Yeah, so I came last year and I got quite a lot out of it, and it was mindset changing was a lot of what I got out of it. So, trying to get out of the worker bee mindset and into the CEO entrepreneurial sort of mindset, and so you can build your business.
And that is something that A lot of us, sometimes I hear from people saying, oh, I would love to come, but I can afford to take 2 days out of my business. So what would you say if someone says that? Like, you've been before, you know what to expect. What would you say to that?
Basically, I came to the realization that because I want to be that CEO and things like that, I felt that if you can't take a couple of days off you're actually working in the business to actually, do some development and whatnot, then you kind of have a job, not really a business. So that was one of the biggest shifts in mindset that I had. That's helped me push towards the keeping the CEO and entrepreneurial sort of mindset.
That's absolutely beautiful. And this year, we're going to take things to a little bit next level again. We've got a speaker that is going to literally talk to us, me included. I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, we're going to take notes on how scale the business by stop pretending to know everything. And it's not that I do or you do or we think that we do, but as you grow the business, you feel confident that I know how to do my role. But then he says, if you want to grow the business, you have to forget everything you know and start again. And it's the hardest thing. I keep trying and I keep going back to what I know. And it's so funny. So he's going to talk literally about that, because I feel that I sort of reached a point in my business that is sort of like been like this for probably a year, where I haven't been able to go beyond the 2 million. And it's like, why? What am I doing wrong? And it's because what I know got me to here. And what I don't know is going to get me past that. But somehow my brain does this. Back to what I know. Back to what I know.
Yep.
And it's so hard, right? To let go.
Yeah, that's right. I've had that, gone through that as well. But you just got to keep reviewing what you're doing and making sure that you're meeting your targets that you want to achieve. And yeah, so you can get the best out of everything.
I know. So exciting. So if someone would watch this and says, oh, Andrew, sounds really good, I would love for him to be my IT. What is the difference between you and other IT company? Why would people work with you?
Yes, I've got a lot of knowledge in the IT industry. I've got spanning over 25 years. I've now hired some VAs so they can support me and get things done when I'm unavailable. I'm quite contactable, or the business is, and I'm training up my VAs to be able to handle things that I don't absolutely have to handle. So client queries and all that sort of stuff. That's sort of a lot of my point of difference.
Beautiful. And what is the thing that you guys do that is your expertise? Like, is it one thing that you do for most of your clients that you want to talk about, one of your services, one of your product?
Basically, one of the things that seems to be coming up more and more is I'm doing some fairly large, is rolling out Wi-Fi for almost share houses. So where people come in and they want to rent a room and the landlord has to provide reliable Wi-Fi that's separate from the other tenants in the complex. And that sort of it's been there, but it hasn't been done reliably and things like that. So I'm gaining a bit of traction doing that. And the other one that seems to be there is sort of doing reviews on Microsoft 365 services. So looking at whether their clients' 365 tenancies are secure. So that's something else we're working on.
Beautiful. I was thinking about you the other day. One of my team told me that we lost a file that was in our Google Drive. I was like, how did we lose a file? I used to use Dropbox and I haven't really been working that much since we have now moved to Google Drive. And I was like, Dropbox used to have the feature that you could just go and retrieve past deleted documents and no problem, even after a long time. And apparently Google deletes them after 30 days. I'm like, what? And so we lost the whole folder, and I was like, we need to talk to Andrew to help us with stuff like that. So this is what you do for businesses, right?
Yeah, basically that's essentially what we do. So we're quite diverse in what we can do. So there isn't much IT that we can't do. So that's some of the things that we look at, is going in and seeing if the products that clients are using are working the way they need it to, like being able to restore files from backups and things like that. Going in, testing those as well, because a backup that isn't tested isn't a backup.
Absolutely. And we don't know what we don't know, right? Until you lose something, you don't know how to recover. It's like, oh, we don't have a recovery option. Good to know that we have a problem now.
That's right. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of don't know this stuff. So definitely, if you're watching this and you feel like you're a business owner that you sort of need some support, then reach out to Andrew and get him and his team to support you in your business so that you can focus on the things that you are good at. Andrew, Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to see you next week at the conference.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you so much. See you, everybody. I'll see you next time. And if you want to come to conference, it literally is about 8 spots left. So get your ticket now And I'll see you there. Over 100 business owners in the room. It's going to be mind-blowing. I'll see you there. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this, you're definitely going to love my Facebook group where I've got over 11,000 people in it, and they're all business owners successful like you. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge, and in there I do classes every week, and I get to interview my clients, and I get to teach you all the things that I've done to get my business to 100K plus a month. So I look forward to have you in there. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge Facebook group in Facebook. I look forward to see you there. Ciao.